What's up, sneaker fans? Thanks for tuning in to a More Than Hype review. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the Air Max 1 Big Bubble in the Royal colorway. So, last year for Air Max Day, we got the first look at the new Big Bubble silhouette. It was in the OG Sports Red colorway, and those did okay numbers. Right now, they are going under retail, but that's besides the point. What I really liked about these was the history that they brought. So, as the story goes, the Air Max 1 originally had this big of an air window, and the visible air unit was obviously very large, but it had a technical flaw in it, in that under cold weather it would actually crack. So what Nike engineers had to do was very quickly reduce the size of the air unit and ship a brand new product, and that is the Air Max 1 that we have today. But for Air Max Day 2023, we got the reintroduction of the Big Bubble, and we have it again here for Air Max Day 2024. These actually didn't release on Air Max Day, it was around 2 days earlier. Funny enough, we had this exact colorway with just a vault colored midsole put on it and the 326 tag up here. But essentially what Nike did was they took this upper and put a different midsole on it, which kind of feels lazy, but I'm sure they're saving a lot as far as manufacturing goes. But alongside that Air Max 1 release, we also got the next generation of Air Max technology, the Air Max DN, which I believe stands for Dynamic. I haven't gotten them yet, but I'll put a video up as soon as I get them. But I was able to go to my local Foot Locker, take a look at them. In general, it is a pretty interesting shoe. I wish they included some forefoot air, and as far as the foam goes, it is pretty stiff in hand. But I am looking forward to bringing you that review, getting them on feet, and giving you my honest opinion on them. On that note of forefoot air, I'm really curious whether or not these have any forefoot air. But before I get too into these, let's start the video as we usually do, starting with the packaging. As far as packaging goes, these come in the same box as that Sports Red colorway. So we have this cutout up top of the Nike swoosh, and it is this sort of weathered look on the box itself. Taking a look at the label, this is a unisex shoe, so you have both men's and women's sizing on these. Retail price for these was $150, same as the Sports Red colorway, but you're able to find these under retail on pretty much any third-party site, so I would look there first. Other than that, standard licensing on the bottom, and then you do have a Big Bubble cutout on the back here, which is a nice touch. Nike logo on this side, another Big Bubble cutout there. Regular sort of striped paper, nothing too crazy on the packaging. Alright, so let's start this one off looking at the upper and the upper materials. So this is something that I've always felt was lacking with the OG releases of the Air Max 1, even before they came out with the Big Bubble, and that is the overlays here are like almost like a felt type material, and I really would like to see something a little bit more premium than that, something like a nubuck or just anything like that, because man, this stuff just does not feel very good in the hands. Especially for the retail price of $150, I would not mind paying a little bit more to get better materials here, but staying true to the original, I get it, and this was the stuff that was on it, and that's what we're getting here, so I can't complain too much. Let's also talk about the shape here. So when it comes to the Big Bubble, there was an update to the shape of this Air Max 1. Starting with the toe box, which looks amazing. We have this really nice slope going on here, but that's only from this side, profile look. Top down, it doesn't look as elegant as the original, or I guess the updated Air Max 1 that we all have come to know and love. And we can really tell how wide that is from the outsole here. You can see there isn't that much of a curve going from the midfoot to the forefoot here, which actually makes these very comfortable. I would say definitely wide foot friendly, but I'm getting off topic now. So all of your overlays on the shoe are in that felt type material, starting from the gray quarter panel, your swoosh, going around your mudguard. Here's the look at the medial side. All of that is that same felt-like material. It is what it is. Nice embroidery, Nike Air on the back here. Very soft collar area. These come stock with flat white laces. No extra set of laces with these, which is kind of a bummer, because if you like this shoe, then you probably are a collector of some sort and you like Air Max 1s. So something additional would be really nice here. Getting deeper into it, here's a look at your tag on the tongue, Nike and Air Max on that label here. On the underside, all blue, pretty much completely blue on the inside of your shoe. Blue sock liner, blue on the tongue, white around your heel. And the interesting thing here is that this is actually a woman's release. And we can tell that by the size that they print on the sides here. So 10 is the women's conversion size of my 8.5. In Nike, for whatever reason, the conversion is 1.5 sizes up. So, I don't know. That's kind of funky to me, but it is what it is. Taking a look at the sock liner here, and we actually get a nice Easter egg, if you want to call it that. The traction pattern of your Air Max 1 on the bottom of your insole or your sock liner, which is a nice little touch. This is where usually the removable arch supports would be. That's something that used to come with Air Max shoes. And that's what this piece here is for. That little square is for the adhesive piece. They don't include those anymore, so it really is a bummer that there aren't any accessories that come with these. Pretty simple upper. You have those felt-like material overlays, nice breathable mesh toe box. Not really much else to it. So now let's move on to the midsole outsole, which is arguably the sort of best part of the shoe, and it's because of that big visible air unit. It is a beefy air unit. Almost half of your midsole is this air unit here. And it's no wonder these cracked under cold weather conditions, because it just looks like it would. But I'm guessing the sports red colorway has been out for a year. No one has complained that their unit is cracking, so they must have done something here to prevent that from happening now. So I guess that is an improvement in the engineering of visible air for you. One thing that I am wondering is the original Air Max 1s, I mean not these, the smaller air unit version does have air sole unit or an air unit in the forefoot, and I wonder if these have them too. None of the marketing material gestures towards it having it, but you know, who knows. I am very curious, and I don't think anyone has cut these in half yet, the big bubble version of the Air Max 1. So I would be very curious to find out. If anybody knows, leave a comment. And last but not least, we have our outsole. So I was kind of saying earlier, this shoe definitely fits big, in my opinion, because of how much space you get inside of the shoe, and compared to the smaller window Air Max 1, we'll just call it the regular, you have a lot more space, especially in this forefoot area. So to be honest, I went with my true size 8.5, but I do feel that I could go down a half size if for whatever reason sizes weren't available, and these would fit perfectly fine. I do have a little bit of extra room, and I do feel that these lengthwise are a little bit bigger as well as widthwise, so that is something to note. If you like a one-to-one fit, a half size down might actually be the way to go. But as far as your outsole goes, it stays pretty true to the original Air Max 1, aside from the shape of the shoe. But we have a little blue touch, sports blue on the toe here, black, white, black. I don't think, as far as the rubber goes, that it's anything different from the original Air Max 1. And yeah. And there you have it. That is my review of the Air Max 1 86 OG in the sports blue colorway. You know, I just would have liked to seen some better materials on these. I understand that the OG is usually this sort of felt-ish material, but it would have been really nice to see some nubuck here, just to make the whole thing feel a little bit more premium. But staying true to the original, I do appreciate what they're trying to do here. That big window, although it is very sort of impressive to look at, I wish it did have a little bit more squish, is the best way I could put it. I wish it was more comfortable. It really is just an aesthetic thing, and these aren't any more comfortable than the regular sized air unit Air Max 1s. If you're an Air Max 1 collector, then this is one shoe that you're definitely going to want to get, and I don't think it's going to be too difficult. If you want that vault colorway though, that might be a little bit more difficult. I'm also going to be trying to get a pair of those when the sort of wider release, I think there's going to be a wider release. I'm actually not sure because I don't see it on the calendar, but Usually when there's a shock drop, there will be another bigger release later down the line. So whenever that time comes, I will try to get those as well. That's all I had to say about these. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Like the video if you found it helpful, and subscribe to the channel for more sneaker content.